The Modern Tarot is a deck of 78 cards consisting of two types of cards, the 22 cards of the Major Arcana or Trumps and the Minor Arcana or Suite cards, which roughly correspond to a modern deck of playing cards. This structure is a derivation of the Venetian or Piedmontese Tarot, but the early decks were of several types with varying number of cards. Written records tell that the tarot was originally used to play a card game called Tarocchi, which is similar to bridge. The game was popular in Europe for centuries and is still played today, particularly in French. Early poets also used the titles of the trump cards to create flattering verses called Tarocchi Approcciati, describing ladies of the court of famous personages. Although it's possible that tarot cards may also have been something used for other purposes, there is no clear evidence of such use until long after the cards were invented. The origin of the word tarot may be derived from the Arab word turuk, meaning four ways. From 1375 to 1378, playing cards were introduced to Europe from the Islamic invasion of North Africa, Spain and Sicily by Islamic forces during the Mamluk Sultanate of Egypt, which did not end until 1517. These playing cards were an adaptation of the Islamic Mamluk cards, which had suits of cups, swords, coins, and polysticks. The court considered of a king and two male underlings, Islamic Mullah cards 15th century. 1420 to 1440. The tarot first appeared in northern Italy. These early decks were constantly works of art, hand-painted and decorated with gold leaf. These decks were used for playing a complex game similar to modern bridge by the upper classes. The tarot had the same structure and number of cards as most modern tarot decks, though the names and scoring of the trumps varied. 1480. Sometime before 1480, the French introduced cards with the now familiar suits of hearts, clubs, spades and diamonds. While this deck appeared to share common ancestry with the tarot, it is not a descent from the tarot. 1487. First mention in literature of the use of regular playing cards for divination. However, no mention is made specifically of the tarot being used in this way. 1500s. The invention of the Gutenberg press allowed for the first mass-printed tarot decks. Not only did this standardize the names and numbers of the trumps, it also made the tarot more affordable for a wider range of social classes. This mass production also fostered the spread of tarot from northern Italy into the rest of Europe. Because of the prior centralization of the tarot to Italy, all of the original tarot names are in Italian. 1530s. The word tarocchi begins to be used to distinguish them from a new game of triumphs or trumps, then be played with ordinary playing cards. Originally the cards were called Card da Trionfi, cards of the triumphs. The German form of tarocchi is taroc. The French form is tarot. 1589. Records from a trio in Venice suggest that the use of tarot cards may have been associated with witchcraft. After this, there are no references connecting tarot with magic or divination until the 18th century. 1781. Le Monde Primitif, the primitive word published in France by Court de Gabelin and the Comte de Mellet, is the first article to refer to tarot, specifically in occult divination terms. In this article, Mellet makes the first recorded connection between the cards and the Hebrew letters of Jewish Kabbalah. Gabelin himself makes the first recorded description of the tarot having Egyptian, sacred, occult origins. 1788. The Italian tarot deck becomes the first deck published specifically to be used for divination. Many of the designs were radically different from the traditional deck and further reinforced the idea of Egyptian origins, meaning for each card were printed on the cards themselves. 1909. The Wade-Smith Tarot deck becomes the first deck to have full illustration for all the suite cards and has since become the basis for a wide variety of divination-based decks, all using similar symbolism. Wade is also responsible for publishing, although not inventing, the Celtic Cross spread. There are as many tarot layouts as there are tarot readers, and you'll soon discover those that suit you best. There are generalized spreads that look at your whole life, spreads that focus on a particular problem, and spreads that offer an indication of timing events. It is probably best to begin with generalized spreads and then focus down into a specific problem. Spheres of Life spread. Choose 7 positions that represent various areas of your life and lay down a card for each of these. A typical choice might be 1. Love, 2. Work, 3. Money, 4. Family, 5. Health, 6. Travel, 7. Home. Past, Present and Future spread. Draw several cards to present the past, several more for the present, and another batch for the future. Focus spreads. If you wish to look at a particular question, the 7-card consequences spread is as good as any. 1. The person or the predicament. 2. The factors for or against the person or predicament. 3. Past influences. 4. Future influences. 5. Advice on the most useful course of action. 6. Surrounding people or circumstances. And 7. The outcome. The Celtic Cross. This layout is familiar to every professional tarot reader, albeit with minor differences due to personal preferences. This is not an easy spread for a complete beginner, but you can work up to this when you are more used to the cards. 1. A significator for the questioner. 2. The predicament that the question is in. 3. For or against the predicament. 4. Distant past. 5. Recent past. 6. Near future. 7. The goal or direction to aim for. 8. The questioner's state of mind and his or her effect on the situation. 9. The effect of others on the situation or other environmental factors. 10. Hopes, wishes and fears. And 11. The outcome.